Welcome everyone to this week's video. Today we are on Fish Friday number 136 and we have a good one for you today. Today's fish is one of the scariest looking fish that you can possibly imagine. It looks bizarre and spooky and would have been perfect to do for Halloween, but we're doing it today and I hope you enjoy. Today's fish that we're going to be talking about is BAM, the deep sea lizardfish. Now, the deep sea lizardfish, or Bathysaurus ferox, again, that's Bathysaurus ferox, it is part of the family Bathysauridae, which is the family of deep sea liverfish. And in that family, there are two. There is the deep sea lizardfish, Bathysaurus ferox, and then there is the other species, which is the high-fin lizardfish. We're talking about the deep sea lizardfish, but if you try and look for pictures of the deep sea lizardfish, you're going to see some pictures of the high-fin. The way to tell them apart is the deep sea only has one dorsal fin, you can see here, whereas this one has this tiny secondary dorsal fin. From what I understand, and I am not a lizardfish expert and by any means, that is the way to tell them apart. You can't go by color because deep sea lizardfish they're very variable in color, which we'll go over in a bit. So but yeah, now it's still a deep sea lizardfish, this other one, because it's the family of deep sea lizardfish. This is just the deep sea lizardfish. Now, where are you going to find these? These are found actually worldwide, both in tropical and temperate waters. They probably get up into the Arctic regions as well. Probably, I'm going to say. They're basically found worldwide, but as the name would suggest, they are really only found in the deep water. And when I say deep, I mean deep. You're talking about 600 to 3,500 meters, which is about 1,970 to 11,480 feet deep. Pretty much the bottom. Wherever they're at the bottom. And they really don't get above that 600 meters, and most of the times when you see records of people videoing these, and when I say people, I mean not actual people, usually like ROVs, they're deeper than that. Don't get me wrong, 600 meters down is still plenty deep, but yeah, they're deep. And they're found in cold water. They when you're that deep, and when you're found in the, oh my goodness, what is it called? The aphotic zone. There you go. The aphotic zone, where less than 1% sunlight penetrates. You're talking about cold water. It's the water that they are found in is somewhere between 4 and 3 degrees Celsius. I know, huge range, which is about 39 to 37 degrees Fahrenheit. So 4 to 3 degrees Celsius, almost frozen water. And for a deep sea fish, they are pretty large. Most people kind of think of the deep sea as where monsters live, and these huge, monstrous, like Godzilla's type things, and that's really not the case. That's just really not the case. But it's still scary, and it's still big as far as those go. But when you're down there, you're really talking about 70 centimeters in length. That's about as big as these get, which is about 2.5 feet. I found somewhere someone saying that they got one that was like 94 centimeters. I don't know. I could believe it, but I couldn't really find anything to verify that, which is still a large fish for deep sea. Usually they're much smaller. There's plenty of other large fish. I believe we talked about the snellfish recently. That can get bigger, the cuskeel, but not really. Most of the time you're talking about extremely small animals. Now, in terms of how they look like the shallow water lizard fishes, which I can't remember. We've done a lot of Fish Fridays. I can't remember if we talked about any of the freshwater or the shallow water lizard fishes, which is the Cynodontidae family. But that's kind of where this got its name. It was put in the Cynodontidae family because it looks very similar, and then it was moved somewhere else because they determined that, oh, these are incredibly different, which they are. Like I said, they are very variable in color: white, gray, brown. You will find some like this. I couldn't even begin to tell you why some of them have like this and some of them are just flat out albino. Don't ask me. Like other lizardfish, they have this cylindrical body, and then of course the head. Like, let's not beat around the bush. I'm sure anyone who's been watching the video, you're looking at this. Well, let's get a close-up. So this is what a close-up of that head looks like. It's a flattened head. It's a bony head. This is a hard bone right here. Very flattened, almost like shovel-like. They are not diggers. They got these very, very large eyes with very, very large pupil. In fact, most of their eye is pupil, which shows that it's a vision predator. Keep that in mind. And this enormous mouth with all these spiky needle-like teeth. Yeah, I mean, this mouth is just absolutely enormous for the size of this fish. You're talking, I mean, I did see an article somewhere on these that calls it a Cheshire cat smile from Alice in Wonderland. Perfect description. This is a Cheshire cat smile, a devious smile if I've ever seen one. Yeah, just... Oh, by the way, here's another picture of a high-fin lizardfish. You can kind of get a top-down view since this is a side view. But yeah, just bizarro fish. I mean, I don't think anyone can deny it. It's a bizarro fish. Now, something interesting to note is that the deep-sea lizardfish is actually hermaphroditic, meaning that it has both male and female sex organs. And that's most likely because there aren't that many of them. It's a reproduction strategy of which almost nothing is known, by the way. Almost nothing's known about how they reproduce, but it's more than likely because since there aren't that many of them, they probably just do that so that no matter what other ones of their species they come across, they are able to reproduce. When I say there's not that many of them, people also have this misunderstanding of like the ocean being teeming, especially down in the bottom. The bottom of the ocean is a barren wasteland. There is not a lot of stuff there. One study showed that there is a density of 0 to 8 fish per, so 0 to 8 fish per 25 by 10 cubed square meters. Meaning you take a piece of ocean 25 meters wide, 1,000 meters long, so 1 kilometer, and you'll find 0 to 8 fish in that entire section. It's not a lot of fish. Not a lot of fish. But going back to the reproduction strategy, more than likely their larva fish, their larval stage is pelagic, because they have found larval lizardfish floating across the top of the ocean. Now, with a mouth like this, it's pretty obvious these are an apex predator. These are the top dog down there. They're primarily piscivorous, which means they eat other fish, but they'll eat anything else. mollusks, crustaceans. There's actually records of them. Well, I shouldn't say records. Apparently they will eat dead fish that are drifting down from above. So when a fish dies, they start sinking to the bottom of the ocean. If this fish comes across one of those, it will eat it. Does not seem to know. But the interesting fact that we're going to end the video on is actually their sort of predatory nature, how they survive. This being a very nutrient poor system, meaning there's not a lot of stuff around, how do they survive as an apex predator? Usually apex predators have to eat a little more frequently than you might think. And this fish, instead of going, so we've talked about like the mako shark, the short fin mako shark, and these tuna that are just constantly on the move looking for stuff to eat. This does the opposite. It's more like the rattlesnake approach, I guess I should say. They spend most of their time motionless, not moving whatsoever. They are sitting on the substrate. This one I think is a little anxious because of this ROV right here, and so it's a little more down and trying to shy away. But usually they sit there a little more with their head elevated, and what they're doing is they're looking for prey, using these incredibly large pupils, these very large eyes, looking probably for tiny reflections, bioluminescence, just looking for any sort of light that comes close. You can tell also from this right here, which is the lateral line system. This is an incredibly well-developed lateral line, meaning that it's still using those changes in water pressure to determine where prey is. And then when something comes close that it believes it can eat, it reacts. And I mean, it is a blink. They move, boom, fast. It lunges forward, rapid burst, then it grabs with the jaws. And that's why it has these needle teeth. These teeth are not made for chewing. When you see these needle-like teeth, this is a jaw and teeth that are designed to grab something and just make sure it doesn't let go. So it's just trying to hold on to whatever it catches and then basically swallow it whole. It might like try and shake it and tear it in half or something. I don't have any scientific evidence to back that up. But more than likely it's just trying to swallow everything it catches whole. Now, the reason why this is neat is this is a very good way of conserving your energy. The rattlesnake method, the sit and wait predator. The problem is, especially, like we said, this is a nutrient poor system. The problem is that this means that there aren't many deep sea lizardfish. There's not that many nutrients. The difference between this and the rattlesnake is much more likely to come across something. Because a rattlesnake will sit on the side of little game trails trying to wait for mice and rabbits to come by. How does a deep sea lizardfish survive just sitting in the bottom of nowhere and just hoping something comes by? Well, and that's actually the interesting fact about the video, is that deep sea lizardfish actually are known, and it's one of the few things that are known about these, to have a very large expansive liver. That liver is actually 20% of the total weight of the fish. Huge liver. And what that liver is doing is it's serving as a little energy store, it's not even little, that allows them to continue surviving and growing between these sporadic feeding episodes. Most of the time when snakes or other sit and wait predators are in that sort of sitting and waiting part, they're not growing. In fact, snakes will actually reabsorb their organs during times of hardship. So the deep sea lizardfish is using those liver stores to be able to continue to survive and grow, and then it replenishes those when it gets those really good, that really good feeding episode. But I digress. Regardless, thank you guys so much again. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you again. If I don't, please be safe. Have a great day. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you do. I'd really appreciate it. Hope to see you again. Let's put it on the head for the end of the video. But I've been enjoying all of the love and support on the YouTube. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones. Check out the link down below if you'd like to tip and support the channel. I'd really appreciate it, but it is obviously not necessary. Regardless, take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and peace.